All right, so another big thing that we need to work on for the Keystone library is putting in a stairwell to go from the first floor up to the second floor, as well as an elevator to make sure that this building is accessible. All right, so if you go to the ground floor, we're going to put the stairwell in first. It's your choice where you put the stairwell, but I'm just going to show you the general process of it. So a couple things you need to know. At least one, so if you want to have more than one stairwell, that's fine. But one of them is more of a utility type stairwell. It's a fire safe stairwell. So it needs to be encased in a CMU wall, a whole set of CMU walls, and it needs to be fire safe, essentially. So it also needs to be wide enough to be considered, fire safe and everything like that. If you want to have an architectural style wall, or sorry, set of staircases in addition, you can, but that's separate from what we're doing right now. All right, so to do this, we're going to actually build it outside of the building and then drag it into the building. So what we're going to do first is click on the crop region, drag it out so that when we build it outside, we'll actually be able to see it. So I'm going to build it out here, and then put it inside here. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the wall area. So it's going to be an interior, let's see, generic 8-inch masonry. So if you look at generic 8-inch masonry, it's really your concrete masonry unit, your 7 5/8 concrete masonry unit, which is what we're going to use. So I want my stairwell to fit in between a set of the beams. So I'm going to just first off measure the distance between this beam and this next beam. So it needs to be 22 feet 8 inches. All right. So wall 22 8, and then here, here, here. So let's just double check something. So that's too much. So bring that into 22 8. Okay. So and I can drag this out a little bit bigger because I just don't know what size my stairwell is going to need to be. But what I do know is it's going to need to be kind of like a switchback style staircase. All right. So it can't just be one long stairwell. It's going to be a stairwell. So it's going to go up partway here with a landing, up some staircases, some stairs here, and then come back. All right. So if we put in a stair, on the stair tool, we're going to go from the ground floor up to the second floor. It's, the assembled stair. We're not going to do that. We're going to do cast in place concrete. The assembled stair is like a wood kind of frame that you would see like in a house maybe. That would not be considered fire safe. Monolithic, which is concrete, that would be considered fire safe. Also to be fire safe, the width of the stairs needs to be wide enough to accommodate the traffic in case of an emergency. You should look at the codes there. I'm going to make mine 4 foot 6 inches wide. This may or may not meet code. You need to come up with that determination on your own. I'm just showing you how you could do it with 4 foot 6 inches wide. All right, so we're going to do the run, and I'm following. If I keep this the way it is, where I follow the center, you'll see that if I'm trying to put my staircase in here, it goes over top of the outside edge of the wall. So you're going from the ground floor up. So imagine you're walking up this way. This is the left edge. So I'm going to follow the left edge. And as you see already, the stair tool shows me how many risers I need to create. So you're going to need to create approximately 34 risers. So if I follow the left side of the run, so I can kind of offset from the wall a little bit here. So 34, let's do about a third of them. So we can do 11 or 12 here. If we do 12 here, let's see, 12 is 24, so it means to do 12, 10, and 12. All right, so 12 here, and come around, put 10 here. All right, and then come back, make it nice and uniform. All right, my last 10 here. That's our 12. And I'm going to put a landing up top here. So this like stairwell room, I want you to be able to open up, and you don't want to like step right onto some stairs. You want to have a kind of a landing space here and a landing space here. This is just where the ground floor, so I don't need to put a landing in here, but up top here, I do need to put a landing in. So I'm going to draw a landing. And so it's going to be a rectangular shape, so I'll select rectangular shape. And let's see, 5-foot landing. Yeah, probably good enough. And say green check mark for the landing. Now this is the staircase that I'm going to build. Okay. There we have it. So there's your staircase. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in 3D. So zoom around. You see a slight issue. I have a railing here blocking off my entrance to the second floor. So I need to modify my railing. So go back to ground floor. Click on the railing and double click on it and say, so I'm essentially editing the path. And I'm going to keep the outside run and just delete the rest of it. So delete that, delete that, delete that. So I need to essentially create two separate railings, the outside railing and the inside railing. There are two separate railings. So green check mark. So now I have my outside railing. There we go. And so go back to ground floor and let's put in my inside railing. So click on railing again. So from here up to here, double click. And from here to here, green check mark. Pick host, make sure you click on pick host and then click on the stairwell. And let's go to 3D view. And there we have it. Not 100% correct. If you look at it, got some issues with it kind of hovering out in space the one we just created. So we might need to modify that. Let's see. So I'm zooming in a bit. So if I click on the railing that was created for us, the offset from path 1 inch, this one was not. So let's put that 1 inch in there. So type in 1. Oops. Try that again. And we might need to go to ground floor to do that. So here, offset from path 1, hit apply, and then go back to 3D view. All right, that looks a lot better. All right, so now what I can do is I can drag this into my building. So I'm already in 3D view. Let's go to the ground floor. So let's tighten this room up around it. So if I click on the wall, click on align, align the wall to the stair. All right, and then to the landing. All right, so this is what I'm going to drag in. Let's try this again. So zoom over. All right, let's drag this in about here. All right, and let's try this again. So align to the inside edge of this beam. Okay, outside edge here. And now let's see about moving this. So this is going to be a little bit weird. So undo that. So trying to move this staircase. I moved a little too far back. This is just more of a visual lining up. And at this point, now let's realign this wall. So to this side, oops. So align, there, and there, and there, and there. Let's go check it out, 3D view. All right, so let's go down into the building. All right, so you see part of the issue, we're gonna need to do what's called a shaft through the second floor. So we'll do that in just a second. But here, looks good. All right, so let's do this shaft, which will cut through the second floor down into the first floor. All right, so if you go to, down here. All right, so you see I need to cut away this. So go to the second floor. And so what I need to do is go to architecture, and it is shaft here. So the shaft is going to be, so base constraint is the second floor. No, it's going to be the ground floor is the base constraint. Top constraint is the upper roof plan. We'll see about that. It's going to be a rectangular shaft from the inside corner here to the inside corner here. Hit the green check mark. And now you see the stairwell. All right, let's go ahead, go back to 3D view. Let's see if I did this right. Okay, so I went too high. I went and cut through the roof, and that's not right. So if I click on that, that's the shaft. The top constraint should have only been the second floor. All right, so now if I have the view cube go down to that, okay, we're going to try this again. So here's, okay, so it goes up to the second floor, and then the top offset, I need to go above. Remember, my floor is about 8 inches thick. So let's just go up another 2 feet. Let's just make it say 5 feet, who cares? Say apply. And now it should go up high enough. All right, good. And this is, more than we need to worry about right now. But you have your beams going across. That's your structural support. An engineer would look at it a lot more thoroughly to figure out, they'll probably surround this outside with beams. We can just take this beam, get rid of it, take this beam, get rid of it. We'll do more of a structural analysis with the beams that are remaining. And so there's the stairwell. Now we need to put in an elevator. All right. So I'm going to keep my elevator pretty close to my stairwell here. So if I go to the ground floor, so here is my stairwell. What you could actually do is put your elevator inside of your stairwell. At least if you did it like the way I did it, where you have your big open space here. So let's see. We will put in some more CMU walls here. So put in wall, still the CMU. Make it plenty big enough here. All right. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load the elevator. So go to component. I've preloaded this into my school's library. So go to the S drive, East, Students, AAT, CEA, Revit Families, US Imperial. And if you go to specialty equipment, I've got an elevator put in there. Say open, then I need to update. All right. So might need to resize a few things here a little bit. But here is essentially the elevator. I put it right here. So I'm going to kick this wall out a little bit. see. All right, that wall's out far enough, that wall's out far enough, and then I can align this wall, go back to the elevator, and then that wall to that part of the elevator, and then this looks like it might already be where it needs to be for the elevator. All right. So it might look like I've got the elevator all situated. Let's go to 3D view, change my view cube so I can see the whole building. All right, so I see that the elevator is way more than I need. All right, so something's going on here. I can also push this back a little bit so I can see kind of into the building. And you see the elevator door entrances are not where they need to be. The first floor of our building is really high. It looks like the third floor of this elevator is where it needs to be. All right, so what I need to do, click on the elevator. And this is a modifiable elevator. First of all, you don't need the service/hospital. It's a passenger, so you can pick the 22,000. That's the weight rating. You do 2,000, you do 2,500. Your call. Doesn't matter. But the whole point is you can change it. We don't need, our building is only 2 floors. So you don't need 10 stories worth of service. So 2, click apply. And the height from the first to the second floor is not 10 feet. To figure out what it is, go to the elevation. You see that our second floor is 19 foot 6 inches above our first floor. So let's go back to 3D view. Click on the elevator. And so distance from, let's see, the first one, from one stop to 2 is 19 foot 6. Hit apply, and there we go. And the elevator overrun, let's see, so if we go to, again, the east, so different distance from 19.6 to 34 is 15 feet. So if we go again back to 3D view and say 15 and apply, that should take it up to the ceiling. All right. Something you'll notice that I should have been a lot more careful about, my walls here for my CMU walls do not go as high as they should be going. They need to be going up to the, so if I go to ground floor, all of these walls here, oops, this, and this, as well as, I'll get those ones later. They should have gone up to the upper roof framing with no top offset. So I should have been a little bit more careful about creating those walls. All right. And then, oops, that one, and that one should be the same thing. You should go to the upper roof framing with 0 offset. Apply. All right. And something happened where my elevator is not the size it should be. Or the shaft here should be from here to here. And then, all right, so now my elevator shaft is the size it should be. And you can see the stairwell is still, much bigger than it needs to be. You can maybe, do something else with it, but I've at least been able to combine my elevator and my stairwell into one location. All right, so that still, that top offset is, there we go. Let's do that here as well. 0, apply, 0, apply. All right, so now we have our stairwell and our elevator. Again, if you really want to get detailed, your elevator shaft should have kind of a foundation underneath of it. That's beyond really what we're going over right now. But you know, if you really want to get detailed, you can do that if you'd like to. Let's put our section box kind of back to where it should go so we can see our building when we want to see it. All right, so now we have our stairwell and our elevator.